What is a monetary union? A monetary union, according to Britannica, is an agreement between two or more states creating a single currency area. A monetary union involves the irrevocable fixation of the exchange rates of the national currencies that existed before the formation of a monetary union. Historically, monetary unions have been formed on the basis of both economic and political considerations. A monetary union is accompanied by setting up a single monetary policy and one central bank. Think about the European Union. You got a bunch of different countries with a bunch of different political systems and a bunch of different currencies. They came together and created the euro in the European Union. Why is this important? Because there's another group of countries that look to create another monetary union to go against the US dollar by using cryptocurrency. Welcome back to How About That Crypto, your home for crypto, Web3 news and updates. And you are listening to your host, Bitcoin Stylist, on Twitter. Check me out. And we're going to dive right in. Do not forget, this is not financial advice. If you want tax, legal, or financial advice, then you should go see a tax accountant, financial advisor, or a lawyer. You can use the links below and to do your own research. All right. And don't forget, leave a comment, like, and follow, because it makes sure that this information gets pushed out to more people, the more interactions it gets. So there you go. Let's dive right in. And I'm going to share my screen. If you're listening on podcast, you can use the links below or just listen up, because I'm going to let you know everything. All right. So I pulled up Statista.com. This is a chart that is the gross domestic product, or GDP, in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2021 by country. It shows Brazil at 1.6 trillion US dollars, Mexico at 1.3 trillion US dollars, and Argentina at 486 billion, or almost half a trillion dollars. Why is this important? Well, I'm going to switch over to this article from CNBC by Sam Meredith, titled "Argentina and Brazil Are Discussing Plans for a Common Currency. Analysts Can Scarcely Believe It." Now, that's a little tongue-in-cheek right there. So let's dive right in. Argentina and Brazil are in early talks to create a common currency as part of a coordinated bid to reduce reliance on the US dollar. Analysts are highly skeptical, dismissing the proposal as pie in the sky. It is hard to believe Argentina and Brazil would actually move in this direction, given the discrepancies in the two economies at the present stage. That's somebody, Mario Marconi, from managing director at consulting firm Teneo. I guess the experts that this journalist talked to. So this little statement, the two discrepancies in the economies at the current stage. Well, one is Argentina. If you remember this chart, Argentina was under half a trillion, and Brazil is over 1.5 trillion. So Argentina is less than a third the size of Brazil. That's a pretty big discrepancy. However, Brazil is Argentina's largest trading partner. And those are the two strongest economies in South America, because Mexico is in Central America. Okay, so going back to this story. So this story basically goes like this. These the two largest economies in South America, they're talking to create a common currency to reduce the reliance on US dollars. They both agree that if the sale of their commodities are priced in someone else's currency, then that's not good for them. It says that there is precedent for it says right here, there's 3 decades after inception, Mercosur has yet to deliver on its primary goal of trade integration for its 4 founding members. Mercosur is MERCOSUR. So I'm sorry if I crushed that pronunciation. So that's a trade union, but they never, what they're saying is they never really got anywhere. They wanted to have their own currency, but they also, even before that, that Brazil and Argentina were talking about a joint currency. So this is something that's been ongoing for a very long time. And I believe in my earlier research of this story, it was in the 1800s, and then in the 1900s is when they had differences in their, the dates of their currencies. So this is nothing new, really. However, the story keeps going on to say, here it goes. We expect the SIR, which is the name they're trying to name the cryptocurrency that they're going to use, and that's going to be their joint currency between their countries, and then add other countries later. And says, we expect the SIR to share the same destiny as the peso andino. That's the one that was like in the 1800s, which never got off the ground, or the Sucre, which is the digital payment currency used by Venezuela, and ideologically aligned countries that has no more than symbolic value and has failed to dent the importance of the US dollar in the regional trade. So looks like they got a digital payment currency. Venezuela has one, and it looks like it's not getting very far. And so there's a lot of skeptics out there that think that they can pull this off, which I honestly, like, how would they do that? Maybe they both like do like proof of work coins like Bitcoin, and they set the rigs up, and they're the only ones who have the nodes, and they're the only ones with the miners. So they're having like a closed looped crypto system, and each country that is going to be part of it gets one rig. Or maybe because Brazil is more than 3 times larger than Argentina, maybe Brazil gets 3 Bitcoin miners, not Sir coin miners, and then Argentina gets 1. So Argentina, it's a 3-to-1 ratio, and then they should, mine these coins, and in theory it should have a balance based on the computing power. So a 3-to-1 balance, which would be the equivalent size of their economy, and then they would have this new currency that's still based in the US dollar, but then isn't subject to monetary policy debasement or interest rate hikes or monetary tightening that the US dollar is being subject to right now. Interesting. Anybody want to leave a comment on that? I just think that's really interesting, and I know that it probably lacks depth, which is why I'm asking you to leave a little comment below. Let me know what you believe. So this person, this managing director at this consulting firm, Teneo Marconini, he is being interviewed here on CNBC, and he's saying it's hard to believe Argentina and Brazil would actually move in the direction which we set up there. And then it says down here, he added that Lula is the president of Brazil, says that he was being diplomatic not to contradict Argentina's economy minister Sergio Massa, who had spoken on record about the two countries working toward a common currency. However, Lula fell short of committing to anything other than initial exploratory talks. So this sounds a little bit more like just politics. Like, this president of Brazil, Lula, he is like not correcting the Argentinian economy minister, and because the Argentina's economy minister was like, yo, we're working on this, and then Lula, according to this dude, Lula, the president of Brazil, is like, actually they didn't actually commit. They're just committing to exploratory talks. So, and then it says down here, Lula's willingness to play along in such a way reflects much more in his government's desire to resume good relations with Argentina and Latin America than anything concrete on how to move forward on a matter that would make no sense economically at the present juncture. So this person is speculating that this is all politics, kind of like I do think that Mark Cuban is into crypto, so I'm not hating on Mark Cuban, but he did say when he started to accept Dogecoin for Mavericks tickets, he did say that when he was interviewed by a mainstream news station, whatever channel, they asked him why would he do that? It has no real value, and he said, because I'm going to get so much press from it. And yeah, he got a lot of press for it, and he also got people buying Mavericks swag and stuff. So So I think the Brazilian president's doing a pretty good job trying to say, hey, I'm here to be a diplomat. I'm here to make things work. And oh, yeah, sure. We'll talk about a cryptocurrency. Yeah. Well, moving on, Elon Musk thinks it's a good idea. And this article is on Bitcoin.com by Sergio Goshchenko, and it's titled Elon Musk praises reports on LATAM common digital currency, probably a good idea. And this article says mostly what I said, but then it ends with like talking about distrust in the dollar. You have Saudi Arabia telling China that they'll accept yuan for oil. Like that's as far as I understand, that's the first time that Saudi Arabia would accept anything but the US dollar. You know, we've had like basically a deal with the Saudis and to like price things in dollars, you know, the petrodollar they call it. Well, so Saudi Arabia joined China and Russia going against the US dollar. There's like currency swaps have happened between some of the BRICS countries. You had a lot of people talking about unseating the US dollar. So while this may just have been like for politics or for diplomacy, it also highlights another narrative. Not just cryptocurrency is here and it's the future of money. And it's relevant. You should know what it is because presidents and heads of state around the world are talking about it. But also, don't forget the fact that let's just say you're playing politics and you want to get headlines, you're going to want to talk about something that's trending. Well, and it's got to be trending in your country where it's relevant to the people that you want to hear it. So if the Brazilian government and the Argentinian government are using this narrative of unseating the US dollar, that means that there's an anti-US dollar sentiment that they would be appealing to by praising this as a positive thing. Think about that psychology. All right, let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you what this is all about, and I'll hold on for dear life, aka hodl on.